Today is October the 23rd, 2025. It is Thursday afternoon, about 2:30 p.m. And if I don't make this video today, I'm not gonna make it. I've been putting it off just because I've been busy or out of town or weather. And so I want to so this has been a, let's see, project, chicken project, garden project, and so we've got, you know, a construction site here. These are their old pens that we are giving away. We've given one to our neighbor. We've got two more. Those were the temporary pens for the hen until Jim had completely finished the hen house chicken area. And for reference, our house, you know, is up there, up in the hill. There's the catio, actually, and I'll do a video on that one too. The cats are out. Oliver's helping keep the hawks away. How, bud? How, buddy? Yeah, buddy. Good job. So I'm gonna go ahead and just show you the whole build. And again, some of this has been up for 6, 7, 8 months, and then the final part was the garden that we wanted in the hen area. So this was their original. This is their original yard. This garden, I think I got it going in December when we were still building this whole enclosure, and it is a little bit like outrageous, but I use it also to grow plants, so, and keep the deer away. So yeah, so that's part of the property. But this is a fast growing vine that I planted. It was, you know, I bought it in a little pot at Wild Roots, I think, when I was shopping, and it's gonna produce, like, it's evergreen. It's gonna produce fruit, and it trellises. So my idea in December was like, you know, this will be perfect. And sure enough, the vine is actually growing on the inside of the hen run. This was lavender in a pot, and I've cut it back several times, and it just keeps giving. I've got pop marigolds here, or calendula, and those ones will, I didn't plant those, honestly. I think they came from a wildflower packet I had. So we have a group of hens, and they come out here and they free range and they eat out of this garden, which is what I wanted. Okay, so then we had Jim finished, this was April, like, I don't know, May. He had finally finished the rooster areas, and roosters, they're eating. And of course I use it to store plants and grow plants. And there's Rooster. Hi, buddy. That's Red. Hi, bud. What you doing? What you doing? Hi, buddy. And so I've got, he's taking a nap. I've got squash growing in here, or I'm sorry, pumpkins. These are like little bitty pumpkins. These are just wild sunchokes, sunflowers. They just grow. They're just growing. I didn't plant these. These are all just, you know, he's gonna, I tell him, if you don't get to work, you're gonna be overtaken by sunflowers. So he's like taking a nap. You know, that's their house in there. And, you know, they've got automatic doors, and he's back to back with his brother, which his brother is on the other side. That's Rooster. And I'm drying, these are my sunflowers. I'm drying, the seeds are dry, and then we just throw these. We literally throw them out, or they're bird seed. They're food for birds. So that's why I grow sunflowers too. So we don't have to buy bags of seed for the chickens and birds. And okay, so and then, you know, everything is, you know, wild animal proof, and they've got solar fans, and we've got lights up. They've each got fans and lights, and they've got plenty of room. Plenty of room. And then this little guy, my little boy here, he gets peanuts every day. Daddy gets him peanuts every morning. And tomatoes. He's got his own tomato plants. Yeah, hi, buddy. He's got his own, so he picks his own tomatoes. See? These are all from seed, and they're, you know, so he picks them. He's got his own tomato. So these ones also need to turn, but he picks them. He picks them himself, or, so, yeah, some of them actually, and you know, they grow through. Here, there's one. I'll get that one for him. But, yeah, so there's tomato plants that are growing all by themselves, and nasturtium that I did not plant, but it came from this one here. So it's really, really cool. That's just the forest in there. Again, my boys are protected. He's got a stump, you know. So it's a really nice build, you know. He can come out here if he wants, but he'll fight with his brother. Yes, it's the truth. He'll fight with your brother. So that's his house. Automatic doors. They've got plenty of room, the boys. His roost bar. If we put them together, they'll kill each other. So this is how they can see each other, but they can't fight. So then our whole thing was, you know, it's just pretty interesting. It's all our cardboard there. We, you know, put it underneath so we get good underneath the underneath the wood chips and the dirt and all that, so that we get good worms and good grass. Look at, so these marigolds are popping out of they're coming through. This is so amazing. I just saw this the other day. So these marigolds, I planted them from seed. These are from the front yard. They were dying, and I just pulled them out and planted them, and they're growing. So what we wanted a yard, a big yard for everyone, and a garden area. So they are shedding their feathers, and so it's, you know, looks like somebody killed somebody in here. But look at how happy my girls are, and they're just preening. And so we made it like this forest, and so it's so they get to see the roosters, but they can't fight. This rooster, Noah, can't fight with that rooster, which is his son, Red. So they can all see each other. And so they have this big play yard that is, it's a shade cloth up there, so we get rain in here. And, but they then have the option to go back into their covered yard. So this is their covered yard. Here's that fast growing red rover vine that came through, and they're going to get fruit on this side also. So again, you know, as Jim was building, I was like, I can do a garden. They can pull from the garden. You know, what do I want to put in their hen house? Again, this is full of feathers and poop, because that's chickens for you. That's their stairwell to their coop. They got fans, feeders, a compost in there full of worms. This was a tree we planted. It's a tangerine tree, and I just finished pruning that, you can tell, and then watering it. So again, and then we have the other flock in here, which that's Napoleon's group. And so we're working on that, covering the ground, like the Back to Eden style. So they've got places to roost. These are little things that Jim built, and they sleep there. They love to perch. So this is all like, well, they killed my rosemary. Finally, took him a while, but this is all it's nailed together like a little box. He got the wood and from the forest, and they get up here and they roost. We've got cameras so we can watch them. When we're out of town, they've got a roof, so that they rain does not get in here. They've got their own water here, and this is the main door where we come in. But so this is their run, but then this is their big yard. And so then I've got some compost tea going there for the compost. It's all the scraps and stuff like that. Then Jim built this garden box, and of course I plant. So all of this was from seed. We've got garlic, we've got lettuce, we've got beans, peas, and we have to keep this, keep this on it, otherwise they will destroy this. And they actually get in there, which this is for them. This is what I wanted. This was my goal, is they could pick their own veggies and fruits, and that's exactly what they're doing without destroying the roots. These are potatoes that are growing eyes, so I just planted several in here. I planted several, and so maybe we'll have potatoes next year. These are all bars that he, trees, limbs that he, or branches that he pulled from the forest, and they're not going to move. This is an apple tree that I actually dragged it down because the moles destroyed the roots, I guess, and it fell over. So I replanted it and covered the ground in hopes that it'll survive. So we'll see. There's my other flock in there, and and so they've got a whole compound, and yeah, and then that's Oliver protecting the kitty cats from the hawks. There's a pomegranate tree that we planted. It was a little tiny thing, and look at it now. So they've got their own house, and again, they're separated. So if you can imagine a big 4-square yard, like when you were 6th grade or whatever, and you like say a big 4-square. Well, each 4-square is a fort basically, but it's see-through. But it's protected. And in the main yard, we again compost and wood chips and seeds, and look at the grass that they get to eat. It's amazing when you work on this was all like it looks out there. It was just dried up clay soil. So when you do it, we covered it with newspaper and cardboard, and it's been work. We've been working nonstop, and this is the results. You just throw down some seed, and then my girls have grass. This is a lettuce that I let it go to seed. These are all this black that you see on here is lettuce seeds. So every time I go like that, more lettuce seeds are dropping. Like, how wonderful is that? So everybody's happy, like you can tell. Then I had so many tomato plants that I had from my original tomato plants. I had cuttings from my original tomato plants. I didn't know what to do, so I just put them in here, and look, they've got their own tomatoes. It's just, these were from clippings when I would trim my tomato plants up in my garden. That's mint in there. And so my goal was like, well, I don't want them to kill the root, so if we just cover it, sure enough, if we just cover it with twine or or this wire, then they can the tomatoes can grow, and they can also pick the leaves, and that's exactly what is happening. So it's a win-win. It's really green in here, and they're really happy, and yet because hens will pick like they'll tear up your garden. So you have to cover it with wire, but also allow them to eat. So yeah, so of course I had watched a few videos over the last several years, and so I've learned, and this is the result. It's just so wonderful. Today it's like 70 degrees. It is a perfect October day. They love to just, when I come in here and start to plant seeds, they are just like little curious little girls. And so these are not your foster farm chickens. You know, my whole idea was, you know, we love animals. If we're going to rescue animals, which these are all rescues here. All these girls were going to be abandoned in 2020. So we've had them since 2020. And we lost a few because they were sick, but there's Lucy. She loves to be right next to Mama. Said hi Mama. And but so we don't have the age range of these girls, but we know that we're giving them a good life. And you know, if you want hens or animals, you know, you really have to do research. They need to be outdoors. They need to be safe. You know, if you can't always have grass, then you need to cover your ground. And if you look at Back to Eden gardening, when you have healthy ground, then you have healthy soil, and then you can basically throw seeds down, and then the Lord will grow them for you. So also, this is not just for the hens. I grow my starts in here so the deer can't get in here. So when these girls finally pass away, you know, at their ripe old age, I'm gonna put more trees in here, and be able to start them so the deer can't eat them, and then you move them out to where you want to move them. So I'll just keep it short, but we've been here. Let's see, we got the keys. I think it was September 5th, or no, October 5th of 2024. None of this was here, but Jim the wheel started to turn. He knew what he wanted to do. And then of course I want to decorate with flowers and plants and seeds and trees, because then I want to feed everybody, right? So I'm looking into getting, I have sweet potatoes growing, and the vine is so beautiful. I now want to plant some sweet potatoes in here somewhere. So I'm always just thinking and pondering. I'm just like talking to the Lord, and then, and he always just guides us, right? He always just guides us. So Mercy says that's the truth. She's one of our first chickens that we were given. Mercy. Hi, Mercy. So on that note, we'll leave it at that. And yeah, thank you, Noah, for being such a good boy. Yeah, buddy. So, and Oliver, thank you, buddy. Yeah, and they can come in here. Come on, all my cats come in here. Come on. He'll watch them. The chickens are so used to Oliver, and he'll come in here and he'll steal their food. So, which is fine. And on that note, just get out, get out. And if you have a little garden space, or you don't, you can just use containers too. I've got another container garden. I'll go ahead and share that with you soon. So God bless.